And good morning. It is very early and not as cold as it has been. The ice cold wind picks up a little bit here and there, but as you can see, we have the most gorgeous of storm clouds passing through. It has been lovely, overcast, cold, and rainy the way I like it. And it's just barely now above freezing out here. So it's pretty comfortable for me, but this ice cold wind still gets me, so I got my coat on this morning. But anyway, I hope you guys all had a good weekend. I am glad that last week on Empire of Lies, everything went great. We had high engagement. We had lots of really kind financial donations encouraging me and Chris to keep making the stream. That's great. That shows that it's a real valuable thing that people appreciate. And for those of you who do support me with money, I do appreciate that. This is what I do for a living now, and I really do appreciate every dollar you guys contribute. Thank you. So, what is on the docket for this week? Well, obviously, Discordant Dragons and Empire of Lies, but Chris and I will be talking to my buddy, White Student Transmission. White Student Transmission is a, I don't really know exactly how to label him, so I won't until we have an interview together. But White Student Transmission, of course, recently did a series of discussions with Donald Kent over at American Zarathustra about his work. And Chris and I also want to do that kind of thing. So this week, me and Chris, Newsfist, are going to be talking to White Student Transmission and setting up something similar to do on our channels. So you have that to look forward to in the near future. Also, we've got Oros Post, Donald Kent, since I brought him up, Todd Praise of Folly, and several other people now getting more interested in Discordant Dragons. So hopefully that means I'm going to expand my roster for other content creators to come to my my fun Monday variety show. So things are looking up in that regard too. So all in all, things are going all right, I guess, professionally. I'm doing my best to not let things get me down. And reminder to all of you who have been loyal Yizraelites for some time, the spring picnic is just around the corner, and that will be in early April most likely. So remember that. I, of course, look forward to visiting all of you lovelies who come each year, and hopefully we'll have some new faces too. So that's just around the corner. Well, when it comes to any type of particular discussion topic for today, I didn't really have one. Usually in the morning as I'm getting up and getting my myself together, I think of a discussion topic, but none came to me for my morning walk this week. So I thought I would just share some wisdom on general goings on. And on my channel, especially on Discordant Dragons, I have mostly skirted news about this stupid Ukraine war and the Hamas-Israel bullshit. Now, why do I do that? Well, I'm old now. I remember the 80s and the 90s. I remember this never-ending talk on TV news about, well, these people are a terrorist, these people are a threat. I mean, I was a kid. When I was a kid, I was a kid in the end of the Cold War, where the Soviets were still the super bad guys. And like, I have had to listen since the beginning of information technology, basically, how the news media uses it to radicalize normal people in the way that they want them to be radicalized, in the way that they want them to be, I don't want to say programmed, but prepared for ethnic or regional or religious hatred at like a civilizational level. So I really hate following this war stuff, because I was a young adult in my 20s when this war in Iraq shit was televised in the early and mid-aughts. Post 9/11, a lot of wild shit happened, and I observed it. I noticed then. And then, as the years went by, I kept noticing. I kept noticing things about the Patriot Act, and I kept noticing things about how this machine of the Israeli United States government beast, how it operated, why it did the things it did. I had to speculate as to why, because I never come out and say it. And so, it sort of really soured me on any kind of official news about war or religious stuff or religious zealotry and Jewish stuff and Muslim stuff and Christian stuff and America versus the world stuff and New World Order and UN this, because it just all felt so fake and hollow to me, and it makes me sick that I have to live in that, and my people and my government and my country have become that disgusting shit. And so when I hear Muslim lunatics talking about America being the great Satan, even though I don't like them, and I don't want to be Muslim, and I don't like Islam, and I don't want to live like a Middle Easterner, I sympathize with them when they say that, because that's how I see it too. I see this horrible machine of lies and propaganda and bullying and protection racket. It's like, I hate what it's done to my ancestral homeland of Europe. I hate what it's done to the relations that could have been between different European countries. Because I don't think for a second that there's ever going to be some healthy, peaceful, organic New World Order or anything like that. People are too different from that, even within the same race group, even within the same ethnic group. People have differences of opinions. They want to live different ways. They want to be around people that want to have the kind of laws, the kind of religious expressions that they want. That's never going to be the same. Like, you'd be lucky to find a single kingdom or a single shire, right? Look at this shire, see? In all the lands around here, you maybe have 10,000 people. And that's as far as the eye can see in any direction. It's really sparsely populated out here. You could call us a farming village if you lumped everybody that lived together into one thing, right? And we still have disagreements. We still fight. We still argue over what should be regulated versus what shouldn't be. You know, should we do this about churches? Should we do this about Christian schools? Should we do this about private schools? How should we zone for farming? How should we do this kind of, you know, the people out here still can't see eye to eye on things. And so one of the first things I came to hate about the stupid global American or global anti-white empire of the United States and Israel is this lie of liberal universal values and how we can all be the same and how we can all be a part of this one, I don't know, world society or whatever. Like, I wasn't even 30 years old yet, and I already could tell that was bullshit. And so in the last 20 years, it's gotten even worse. I'm in my mid-40s now, and I have had to watch this disgusting circus get worse and worse and worse, and then almost 8 years ago now, boy, time has flown by, you got Donald Trump coming in. And the way that the media and the FBI and the CIA and Mossad and everybody acted around this, and this horrible, horrible narrative around COVID and the vaccines. Like, I remember thinking in the aughts, when I saw the lies about weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, and I saw the way that things changed after 9/11, I remember thinking, this could get really bad before I die. I hope that things stay good, at least, you know, long enough for me to have a good life. And in a decade, it was already worse than I thought I would see before I died. In a decade. 8 years of Obama, 2 years under Trump. Things have progressed and changed so fast that even in the aughts, when I was noticing and I was fearful, I didn't think it would get as bad as it is now in 50 years. Boy, was I wrong. Boy, has things changed, and have I had to grow up. And boy, have I learned things since then. And so, it's starting to rain. I gotta head back, so I'm gonna have to wrap this up. So, this is why I don't like to cover, oh, well, what did Putin say? Oh, well, what did Tucker Carlson say? What did Fox News say about this piece of the war? Oh, did you hear about A, B, C, D, and E about Gaza? Or Muslim terrorists here? Or what Mossad has done? Because I already know. I don't know the particulars, but I already know. I already know that there are powerful information agencies like Mossad and the CIA out there doing shit. Fucking shit up all the time. I know it. I hate it. I hate my government. I hate the war machine. It disgusts me. I don't even like thinking about it because I was raised to be a patriot. And so all of this shit that I've had to learn the last 20 years makes me sick. It makes me hate being raised the way I was. It makes me wish I didn't have a warrior spirit. It makes me wish that I could just unplug and be a happy simpleton consumer that just says fuck it and just lives on video games and drugs and shit and says I don't care. But I can't do that. I'm not wired that way. I just can't. I can't leave it alone. And so this is why I don't consume news content and create news content about the war machine. Because it fills me with rage and dread and anger. And not rage is anger. It's just rage and no, it fills me with impotent rage. Because I know I can't do anything about it. And I know that I was raised to be a patriot because my parents were hoodwinked into getting their children killed for Israel, into getting their children killed for the anti-white machine in Capitol Hill in America. And so I hate it. I hate having to cover the war shit. Because it's more of the same, even though it's by different words and in different places. It's always the same. It's clandestine operations of Mossad, CIA, and other intelligence communities intersecting with these powerful entities, whatever you want to call them, the party of Davos, the deep state in America, all these other the Kremlin in Russia, whatever. It's the intersection of these non-governmental power forces with governmental power forces and military forces and the information agency. And it's the same song and dance all the time. And I know enough to know that what's on the news as things are happening is probably just a well-orchestrated lie or half of a lie to make me not pay attention to a thing I should be or to make me think something that isn't true. And so maybe it's a personal shortcoming on my end, but it makes me sick to have to cover war news because I know it's fake. And if I cover it, I'm just going to be helping to circulate their narrative. Because the war machine narrative shit, they control. It's probably still the most curated thing that we see on the news, is war stuff. Anyway, that's my wisdom. I had to do a hard cut there because somebody that I know walked by and I had to talk to him for a couple minutes. They're gone now, everything's good. What was I saying? War machine stuff. I gotta wrap this up. This is why I'm probably not going to be... I still haven't watched all of the Putin interview with Tucker. I watched like 5 minutes of it and I was like, I know what this is going to be already. And I just got sick of it and just turned it off. So, I don't even know if I'll finish it. So, anyway. That's what I got to say today. So, I'm sorry about that cut right there. I didn't expect to bump into somebody and talk for 2 or 3 minutes, and it sort of derailed me. But I was done anyway. I was already wrapping up. So I tell you what, we'll wrap up right here. This is pretty. Speaking of Shire, right? So I will be back with Empire of Lies this Thursday, and of course next Monday night we will have more Discordant Dragons. And I hope you all have a wonderful week, and speak the truth to all who have the ears to hear it. God bless.